Dalton Smith says he's going to be a problem, a nightmare, he says, for either one, Matias or Puello, once they face off July 12th. And, you know, he's saying that he's up next. So, and he says he's just going to be a problem for either one of them. So we're going to take a look at that real quick. But first, if you're new here, thank you for stopping in and checking out this channel. And if you're a long-time supporter, thank you for the continued support. Please like, share, and subscribe for those of you who are new and returning. All right, so quick, we're going to go take a look at this real quick on what he actually said. And then we're going to take a look at some highlights of Dalton and see what do these have to offer that should be like a nightmare for Matias and Puello. To be honest, I only seen Dalton like a couple of times, less than a handful. Can't say that he's done anything that made me think that, you know, he's going to be a problem. But who knows, right? Liamparo proved to be something of a problem. So let's go. So here it is. Basically what he actually said, right? So Dalton Smith says he's a nightmare for the winner of Alberto Puello's WBC title against Subriel Matias. Dalton Smith is the mandatory challenger for the WBC super lightweight title. Alberto Puello will defend his BC belt against Subriel Matias in New York, July 12th. The unbeaten British contender is targeting his first world title after 18 straight victories. So he does have a decent record. Of course, against who? That's the problem, right? Dalton Smith says he's a nightmare for the new WBC super lightweight champion as he closes in on his first world title. Smith is a mandatory challenger for the winner of Alberto Puello's WBC super lightweight title defense against Subriel Matias in New York. The 28-year-old British contender is supremely confident that he can dethrone either fighter after racking up 18 straight victories with 13 knockouts. So he has some punching power, and he has some bravado, and he has forced his way up into the WBC's mandatory spot. So, you know, there's something to be said for that, right? He said, actually, quote, "I'll be out in New York to watch Puello defend the title I want against Matias. The ring are staging some special events with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. I've been to a few Riyadh, and now looking forward to seeing this in New York. The WBC Board of Governors has approved me as the mandatory contender for the champion and said that the winner shall face me, so I'm very hopeful to get it. I'll get a shot at the winner. For what it's worth, I'm favoring Puello to beat Matias." Okay, that goes against what we've been saying here, maybe on this channel, right? Or a lot of you have been saying against on this channel. I call Paro to beat Matias, and I think Puello will do the same job. But it'll be a good fight to watch. For whoever wins in July 12th, I have the beating of the pair of them, and I'm doing so will realize and in doing so. What can I read that? Let's start that over again. For whoever wins July 12th, I have the beating of the pair of them, and in doing so, realize my lifelong dream of becoming a world champion, and I think I'm a nightmare for both. So he's saying no matter who it is, he's going to destroy both. He's a nightmare. That's what he's saying. Matias has knocked out every opponent in his 22 victories, and his promoter, Dimitri Salida, has confirmed that the big punching Puerto Rican is always willing to face the best. That's also true. He's just been avoided. So I first saw Subriel's talent up close when he fought my fighter, Shojahan Ergashev, ringside that night. I knew he was something special. Salida told Sky Sports after that his team reached out and wanted to we maintained a relationship. When his fight with Teofimo Lopez fell through, we stepped in and secured a new opportunity for him. For a Puerto Rican fighter to reach true superstardom, is it essential to be connected with the vibrant Puerto Rican community in New York City? That is true. You want to start like selling out, you gotta in arenas and stuff. You gotta go through New York City if you're from Puerto Rico, from the island. You know, coming into New York City. Now we don't have to go into any more of this stuff. We'll kind of get the gist, right? So let's take a look at what he's talking about. Let's take a look at what he's actually saying he'll bring to the table, because, like I said, I don't really know what he'll actually bring to the table. Now, I do know this knockout right here. When I first was watching this was crazy. He's tapped him on top of the head. Bat. It was a rat. Now, you saw the channel I got this from, so go give that channel a visit. All right. I mean, I can't see any... He doesn't have any real speed to speak of. That is amazing. And he's falling in when he's coming into punch. He's kind of falling in, and at least in this fight, he's falling into that, like into the punches. Right? Watch. See how he walks in. You do that against Matias or Puello, you're gonna have a long night. What Paro was able to do was stay close, fight in the trenches, not really letting Matias extend his shots and kind of wear him out. So that's what Barro did that was different. He kind of played into Matias' game, risky enough, but it worked out for him. He stayed close. He didn't jump in like with combinations, kind of like what Dalton is doing here. He's kind of jumping in, trying to reach his fighter. Ooh, that's a nice shot. Again, I don't see Puello or Matias falling for something like that. Matias has a great chin. See, these fighters, they just look very amateurish, right, in their delivery. They don't look as polished, right? And Matias's game, he's probably the best at what he does and how he does it, right? Which is go forward, keep his hands moving. He does have good parrying, like he can parry, on the inside when he's walking you down. Matias can do this, kind of like swat your punches down, like, and then get his punches off. That was a good on the hand there. See, when guys start acting a fool, he got hit with a body shot, huh? Let's just move on from that fight. That fight was... I mean, the kid has good shot selection. He's now wide with his punches. But again, the quality of his opponents. Now, the European fighters, they're damn good, and they're schooled well. But again, I don't see anything really. So he got caught there. You see that? Let his hand down because he kind of walked in. If that's Matias, I don't know, man. But he was able to put him down. Oh, man, he's in pain. Maybe he can hit hard. What I do see is that probably the better fight would be Matias-Dalton, because it would be an exciting fight, because Dalton comes forward, but he doesn't come forward with great defense, and so does Matias. So they'll meet in the middle, but the thing is, he'll probably try to create some distance, Dalton, and jab, and jump in to try to finish his combinations, where Matias will just parry and then bank like he does from the outside. Matias has a nice short, it's like a half uppercut hook from like a short range from the outside as he's stepping in, and then he banks to the body and comes up top. It's up the middle. It's nice. And Dalton looks like he might just run into that. But it'll probably be the better fight for the fans, because I think Puello. Oh shit! Oh whoa! Yo, he complaining that he got his ass beat. You got your ass beat, bro. Why you complaining? Like the referee can't. Like, he's mad at the referee that he got his ass beat. Let's see. I mean, like I said, the kid got talent, definitely. He's not talentless. I don't know how he fares against Matias and Puello, to be honest. A lot of these European fighters come from across the way, and they sort of run into a different caliber of opponent that they've never seen before. They do have very good fighters, and right now the crop of the European fighters, especially in England and the United Kingdom, they just have a different crop right now that is actually probably a better crop that I've seen in a long time. So maybe he would be a nightmare. I don't think so, though. This is a kid. He stretched out in the beginning. Look at his video. He stretched him out, boy. Look. Bang! Right on the top ear temple. Well, I don't think that Dalton is that much of a nightmare as he's stating he is. I'm glad he has confidence. I'm glad that he's looking forward to fighting either one, and I'm glad that he made it to the WBC mandatory spot. But at the same time, I don't think that he's going to really show any sort of problems for either fighter. It will be more exciting. It will look more like he's posing a problem for Matias, but in reality, if you know what you're looking at, he probably won't be. Puello will just outbox him because he'll kind of stay on the outside circle and kind of like pick him off, pop shot him, give him angles, you know what I'm saying? And it won't be that exciting. The exciting fight would be Matias versus Dalton, if that's the one that's to make. Liam Pardo is actually now going to fight for the IBF title. He's become mandatory. So that'll be interesting if he can go ahead and get that title. And it looks like the matchup will be Hitchens. They want to make Hitchens Matias in New York. This is what it looks like to be doing. That would be a big fight for New York, Brooklyn versus Puerto Rico in Madison Square Garden. That's literally the move. Liam Prado could offset that, but then you can make Liam Prado unification against Matias. If Matias would beat Puello in New York for the rematch, that'll be fire. So the key here is Matias has to win July 12th. Everything else is irrelevant. Everything else is irrelevant. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? Does Dalton Smith has any sort of claim to be the nightmare that he says he will be for either fighter, or do you think that it's an easy fight for Matias or Puello? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video, and I'm out. Peace.